So I got bumped out, and then I came to another room. I finished, or mostly finished, the spiritual stuff segment, but I accidentally had the privacy setting to only me. So if you want to see me ramble about God, about higher power, focusing on your breath, the spirit of life floating up like flight, being like God, reality versus delusion, depression and fear, choosing to not believe in that as if that is more reality than the reality of connecting with God or a higher power, that is something that I should put a filter on. That is something that is a form of insanity, in my opinion. I'm just going to throw these hearts on. There we go. Hi. So, anyway, I did all of that for the last 12 minutes of part 2 without making it public. So I just changed the privacy of that. You can go back and watch that a second ago, or you can watch it on my YouTube later. But that's the spiritual stuff segment for today. Just ask yourself if the reason that you're struggling to have a spiritual life in any way has to do with the topic of wanting to live in reality and not wanting to be delusional. Just ask yourself, I just don't know why these emotions like fear and anxiety and depression and all these things that aren't really in the right now for most of us. Because most of us actually in a crisis. Sorry, my birds were so cute just then. Most of us in a crisis actually are quite functional, and we know how to. Sorry, you just saw glowing white light instead of cute birds. Oh my gosh, they're insane. I'll go over there. No, I'll sit here. I'm trying to wrap my show up, and I'm getting distracted. Most of us in a crisis know how to be functional. So fear and depression and anxiety, I just really wonder if the things we think are real, I just wonder if they're not as real as we think they are, living in reality. And this idea of like what's delusional, this idea of something that we can't see and can't understand, well, it's like, I can't see my breath. Science tells me what it is, but I can't see it, but I can feel it. I know it calms me down to focus on it. I can't see the inner workings of my mind. I can't see thoughts and words like fear and depression and anxiety, but we can't see the things that we say are real. It's like, who knows? Who knows what when we talk about if the reason you don't want to believe in God, or you don't want to believe in something bigger than you, or a higher power than you, is because you don't want to live in a delusion, you want to live in reality, then I just ask you to start questioning the realities that you live in and believe in, and look at the number of things throughout your day that are just beliefs. You can't actually physically see or touch them, including your opinions, your attitudes, your biases. I'm getting notifications from an Instagram group. That's fun. All right, so that's the spiritual stuff segment, and we're going to go on. We're almost done. Second to last. Your body and mind. So here's how I do this segment. If you want to learn how to do it or learn more about how to do it, go watch my old shows. Just go to YouTube, search Jessica and the Rainbow. All the old episodes are up there. But for today, we're just going to do it. So you don't have to put your hands like this. I'm about to use one of my hands. Take a deep breath, and again, you take a deep breath, and using your mind, you scan your body. You try to see if there's a part of your body that's holding a little extra energy, a little extra tension. This isn't even a very hippie thing. This is just true. Everyone I've ever known, even the bleakest atheists, talk about feeling things in their skin. And I don't mean bleak to criticize atheists. I just mean like people who I know have no, back to this topic of reality or unreality, no life or mindset that sounds fantastical or fantasy. All of us can talk about feeling things in our skin, that feels like extra energy. And I've had that since I was a child, but I think even people who are way less sensitive than me and have a thicker skin and sort of a tough can-do attitude, we all are feeling things constantly in our body. You might be a little more out of touch with it than me, but you can feel it. fear, anxiety, or framing it differently, excitement, energy, you know, whatever it is, you're just kind of, for this segment, we're just scanning our body. You just breathe and you're trying to find a body part that feels like it's trying to get your attention. That's basically what it is that we're doing in this part of the show. Okay, so right now, for me, it's the top of my head, so I'm just going to show you what I do. And it uses a little bit of creative visualization and imagination, and I learned this from a licensed therapist. And she said you just put your hand on the body part that's feeling a little extra energy, a little intense, like it's trying to get your attention. And you put your hand on it, and you just try to ask it what it's trying to tell you. So, and then you just kind of listen for the answer. Now, I'll show you how many words I put into mine, but I'm a songwriter. I put a lot of words into a lot of things. And you don't have to do that. It could be one word. It could be like tired. And it doesn't even have to come to you as a word. It can just come to you as a feeling. So, put your hand on a body part. So, right now, it's just feeling kind of simple for me. It's just kind of like light and free are the words coming to mind. Feeling a lot. It's actually feeling, probably because I shared my music video that's all about this, and I've shared a lot about flying thoughts today and sort of unreality being spun as reality and reality being spun as unreality. And I've shared a lot of thoughts that are all about this sort of like woo, floaty stuff. And that part of me is feeling very free, like free to be itself. So. That's it. That's a part that just wanted to get my attention right now and just kind of draw attention to that is feeling good for me. So sometimes when you do this process, it'll be just positive feelings. Like sometimes I'll put my hand on a body part. Sometimes I'll do every body part that I can think of, like gut feelings. Sometimes my gut will feel really off, and I'll just kind of subtly do that. And I'll be getting a bad feeling or a strong feeling, and it really works, especially for people that live in their head. Like if you feel like you're always thinking and kind of out of touch with how you feel, and then maybe you're laying in bed at night and you're feeling all this extra stuff, but you hadn't been thinking about it all day because maybe you were in your head but you weren't in your body, like this really works to kind of put you in touch all day long instead of just when you're laying in bed at night and feeling anxious or something, if that's how you feel. This puts you in your body all day long and kind of helps you stay in touch with the cues that your body is trying to give you. Because I believe feelings are a compass. They're trying to guide you. They're trying to help you make choices that line up with who you are and what you need and what you want, and how you can be the most useful and helpful, rather than like old toxic negative thoughts that aren't even yours. Maybe they're just inherited thoughts that you don't even really believe in if you were to get to the bottom of them. So for me, this is like quicker than all the dissection and assessment that one might do, like in therapy, for instance, where maybe you uncover all these ideas, but then they're just left uncovered and now you just feel overwhelmed all the time. Like that actually didn't work for me, that approach, that system. For me, that's similar to the rabbit hole thing that I've been referring to since episode 2. So hope that was helpful for you. Let's go on to the last segment, song time. For today, I'm going to sing a kind of old song. It's on the first Jessica and the Rainbow album. And let's see what I need for this. I decided I'm going to do it on my old, or it's actually not that old. It's a Casio, like my childhood Casios. I have so many ukuleles. Ukulele pile. Okay. So I'm going to do a song because today's episode talked so much about flying. And it talked a little about fear. I'm going to do an old song called Fear of Flying. Here you go. You have a fear of flying, yet you're not afraid to die. So all I want to know is you're not afraid to try. So all I want to know is, how'd you get to be so wise? Lightning coming down from the sky, but somehow you keep walking. That song's called Fear of Flying. It's on my first Jessica and the Rainbow record called Catalysts. You can find it at jessicandtherainbow.bandcamp.com if you need some more soothing existential lullabies in your life right now. So we're at the end of the show, and actually I'm going to try to start playing the final closing theme song on the Gitalele. Here we go. If I can remember. Yesterday I had to figure out how the chords translated on this, which is like my opening segment today in the music lesson about transposing. So this is for myself. I'm reminding myself, okay, that's the G chord on this, and that's the F chord on this, and then that one, and then that one, and then back to that one, and that one. Okay, so yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I hope you found something useful in this show today. And if there's only 1 or 2 or 3 segments you really like and get something out of, I'm trying to put all of these on YouTube, and I'm adding timestamps to all of them so that you can quickly go to YouTube, search up Jessica and the Rainbow, click on any of the ones labeled Jessica and the Rainbow in Rainbowland or JiTR in Rainbowland, and just jump to a timestamp of a part that's useful.